In this Avowed video, I bring you a guide on this pretty unique mage build that I've been working on since the very start. It's still a work in progress, so to speak, and it's for this reason I'm bringing it to you guys and bringing you guys a guide on it. It means you can progress this further to suit your playstyle and what you want. But this is how I've built it, and it's probably the best way to go about using a mage in the game and being a spellcaster in Avowed. I've gone down a route of not building around essence, as crazy as that sounds, but it will make sense to you as we go on. How's it going, guys? My name is DPJ, and if you do enjoy the video, living a like really helps out, and if you like what you see and want to see more, be sure to subscribe. So using that Wand and Grimoire and using this setup has just made the game a walk in the park for me. This build consists of you basically forgetting about that essence for the most part and working with health. Yeah, high health, high defense, high magic damage output. What more do you need? I'm calling this the Blood Mage Build, and for those that are interested, here are a few more details on it. So we have a build here built around that blood magic perk or skill, which allows you to use your health as extra essence, an extra essence bar, so to speak, upon that essence being depleted, that is. This to me from real early on just made sense, considering the various different and better options at replenishing health and working with health over essence. So as soon as I saw this skill, I knew straight away I was going to build around it. Plus, when you don't have to worry about essence, it means you can wear heavy armor for even more added defense. You can also, guys, completely ignore the intellect stat and pump your stats, your points, into further damage and health. And that's basically where we've gone with this, completely ignoring intellect and working with health. Now, being my second playthrough, I've got a great idea of what I want here and where I want it to go. But yeah, this character right now you're seeing is only at level 13, but you can start doing this from the very start and work your way up to it. So if you want high damage, high defense, and lots of magic with power behind it, this is the guide. So first things first, forget about intellect and spend those points on that health. The more health you have, the better. Abilities you clearly need and want that blood magic, leveling this up as you can. You also, guys, want Wand Mastery for extra damage with Wand. Obviously, you also, guys, want that Grimoire Mastery too to unlock more spells. We then, guys, switch to the Fighter tab and skills. Here you want to start with spending points on toughness, because as you can see, this increases your maximum health. But it's also very important, guys, and a massive part of this build is you buying and using Barbaric Shout and leveling this up to a level 2, as this grants you temporary health, which is amazing for what we have going on here. Now, going back to the Wizard tab, if you have those points to spend, I mean, you can spend these on whatever you like. Me personally, I love Fireball. It's one of the most brutal spells in this game, probably the best in my opinion. But I guess here, guys, it consists of what spells you want to be using, what Grimoire you want to be using. But yeah, you ain't limited here for what you want to pick. Now, with regards to the Wand and Grimoire I'm using, I use a superb wand, which we'll talk about where you get this from later on in the video. It comes from a vendor within Shattered Scarp. It's the same with the superb Grimoire 2 and the greater elements, which give me that Fireball, Blizzard, Crackling Bolt and Blistering Frost. But again, there are so many Grimoires in this game. I mean, you can use whatever you want. I'm just going with what I feel are the best. It all depends on what you enjoy. Again, for me though, Fireball is absolutely brutal. Not only with its single target damage, but the AoE effect it has just devastates enemies that are in any sort of area around the initial target you hit. Now, secondary weapons, you can use whatever you like here. That's completely up to you. Now, in regards to armor, the chest piece I'm using is a Deathknight armor, which I'll show you where I get this later on in the video. But this heavy chest piece is perfect, great damage reduction, but also has Bastion on it, which means when I take that damage, guys, there's a percentage that I get some of it back. As you can see, there's a 10% chance of me restoring 15% of my maximum health upon me taking any kind of damage, so it's pretty cool. Gloves I'm wearing are the Thirdborn gloves, but here, guys, you can more or less choose what you want. There's plenty better in the game as you progress on, which will suit this build even more. At this point on this character though, I haven't got to that stage yet or found the ones I really want to use, but you can do what you want here. Now, another thing I will state is if you don't have access to the better ones in the game which come later on in the game, you can always go down the great route of using the Minoletta's Conduit, which is purchased from a vendor with an emerald stare, which we'll talk about later, but also pair this with the gloves of the hand Occult, which are a great pairing with that electricity output. But yeah, we'll talk about them later on in the video and where you get them. Boots I'm wearing here guys are the Thirdborn boots for that 20% or that plus 20 extra health, which is great here. Rings I'm wearing are the Wayfearers ring and the Ring of Pain Amplification. Here I get a plus 15% critical damage and a plus 20% health and essence regen from potions and food. Amulet I'm using right here guys is the Chanter's Panpipes, which I love the idea of being able to summon phantoms to help me in battle, but again, if the right amulet comes along which assists you even more with this build, definitely change it. But yeah guys, that's basically the setup. Going into battle, use that essence, casting those spells. When it drops, trigger that barbaric shout, get that health, keep laying down that damage. Now you obviously want to be collecting that essence from those enemies upon you killing them and then dropping it, because obviously guys, although this more or less uses your health upon your essence being depleted, the more essence you have, the less you need to look after your health, so keep that in mind. Although we're not starting towards essence and we're not really caring about it, the more you have means the more spells you can cast before you start worrying about your health, so yeah, keep that in mind. But with the amount of foods that help you in regards to health and essence, you don't really have to worry about it, because essence isn't a major benefactor with this build. I mean, it still gives you extra spell shots before cutting into your health, so yeah. But with how tanky you will be from that heavy armor you're wearing, from those stats concentrating on health over intellect, you should be good to fight your way through even the hardest hitting enemies throughout your playthrough. So let's talk about certain gear pieces and how you get them. So the first wand I recommend you getting is the Minoletta's Conduit. This is the first unique wand you'll be able to get your hands on. This is brought from a vendor with an emerald stare, which you can just go and grab as soon as you get here. Now, if you, like I said, I recommend this if you haven't got access to the later game ones, which are just much more powerful. But hey, do what you gotta do. Now the matching gloves for this piece in the hands of Occult, these are found within Paradise within Donjo. So simply come here guys and grab these, no fuss whatsoever. Now the superb wand and grimoire that I'm currently using within my build, along with the Thirdborn boots, are brought from a vendor within the third region of Shatterscarp. So come to this vendor guys, found within the town of Thirdborn, come to this vendor and grab these. Now the gloves I'm currently using are brought from a different vendor within the same area, seen on screen now. So the Deathknight chest piece, which I'm using right now, absolutely loving it for this build, can be found within a waterfall cave within Emerald Star. So as you enter this cave guys, through a secret path underwater, come and grab this chest piece. So let's move on to rings. Now the Wayfarers ring can be found within Dawnshore. Come to this point on the map guys and come and just grab this ring. It's just a line here waiting for you to grab it. So the Ring of Pain Amplification comes from a quest called Nature vs Nurture within Emerald Stair. Now this is the quest line that many people abuse for the infinite gold glitch, which has now been patched. But a part of this quest line guys, which starts off in a couple of different spots, can reward you this ring. What you need to do guys is obviously side with Dolina the farmer. Once you do this guys, she will give you this ring. Now the quest line's not long whatsoever, but as you run through this questline people, you'll eventually have to report to Dolina, who's found within the farmer's market. As long as you select the option of the Zerps are not a threat to them, she will give you this ring, so keep that in mind. And then guys, we have the amulet that I use that summons those phantoms. This comes from a questline within Emerald Stair called Memory of the Deep. Now as you do this questline, which starts off right here, you'll speak to Joseph. Upon you completing the questline and taking that relic you find in the bottom of that water back to Joseph, you are rewarded this amulet. Now there's another NPC involved in this questline called the Gift Bearer. Do not give that relic you find at the bottom of the water to this dude, give it to Joseph and you get this amulet. But there we have it guys, in regards to this amazing mage build. You definitely want to be trying it out. Again guys, it's still a work in progress. You can add your own touches to it, but again it works with high health, working off that health instead of that essence, but still being the mage you want to be. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, leaving a like really helps out. If you like what you see and want to see more, be sure to subscribe, and hopefully guys, I will see you on that next one.